I mean, it got pretty gross, like he peed on things. Hi there, we're Beau and Brandy, and with our salty pup Una, we've been traveling through the Caribbean for the past year and a half in our tiny floating home, Saoirse. After climbing Mount Pelee, the deadly volcano, we decided to set sail to St. Pierre, where she overlooks the harbor. In 1902, this volcano exploded, flattening the entire town, leaving 30,000 dead and hundreds of vessels sunk and now an underwater graveyard. And we're about to get a small look at what it's like when paradise turns to hell. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. We came, we saw, and we conquered Fort de France. We weren't really here for anything other than shopping. We needed to stock up before we moved north. We were warned how rolly this anchorage is because the ferries that leave from this dock and go across, they leave about every 20 minutes and they produce some massive wake, and our boat just, it takes it. I mean, the whole anchorage looks like that. So we are heading north to St. Pierre, which actually is where Mount Pelee is that we climbed, and we're hoping to find some of the wrecks that the volcano produced when it erupted. But time to get out of here.
Leave your shirt on the floor. There's no reason to get up. There's a print on your cheek from my wrinkly pillow. There's a smell from the view out the window. Your lips taste like mint from your toothpaste. Spend time counting marks on your fingers. Let's lay here and waste our time. I'm gonna love you like crazy. Waste our time. Waste our time. Let's lay here and waste our time. I'm gonna love you like crazy. Waste our time. Let's lay here and waste our time.
Just a quick little sail up to St. Pierre, about a 3-hour jaunt, 3-hour tour. We got downwinds right now. It's blowing from the east, southeast, about 10 knots. Supposedly it's gonna pick up when we get out there, a couple more knots, but it'll be a nice little broad to beam. It'll be nice, easy.
It's been a great sail for the day. Going average 4 to 5 knots. Got the line out. If a fish could hop on it, that would be great. No waves. The sea stays awesome. It's not really any gust either, so that's been nice. Man, if it could be like this all the time, I think more people would be doing this. It's so cool. Look at that, like, who lives there? I love how the clouds just cover up the mountains. We've been watching them kind of clear and then go back and clear and go back. It's just it's really, I don't know, it's the sun's hitting and you can see all the depth. It's really neat. Oh, and speaking of Mount Pelee that I was talking about that we climbed up, that wasn't it. It's actually right here and totally covered by clouds. The anchorage is in our view. We have to be super, super careful about getting into here because when Mount Pelee erupted, bless you.
Thank you.
When Mount Pelee erupted, it sunk, I think, 200 vessels, 18 large ones. Thank you, Google. They're all really close to shore, so you're gonna see a lot of them on this little map, a bunch of little X marks. Those are all of the wrecks that happened. I mean, some of them are recent, but most of them are from the volcano eruption. We're hoping that we get a dive, at least one. One is in 30 feet of water. A lot of them are on ridges or have disintegrated or are in such deep waters because there's a lot of deep waters around here. We're really hoping to get in here before sunset, but we're almost there.
We're gonna go check out, hopefully, some of these wrecks that occurred when the volcano erupted. There's supposed to be not too far offshore over here.
was a cool dive. We finally found the one that I knew that we were able to dive because it's only in about 30 feet of water. Insert name here. Can't remember what it's, the Rosedom. Anyways. So this one actually, this boat pulled in 90 minutes prior to the volcano exploding, and they couldn't get free because their anchor was set and they couldn't get released of the anchor. Actually, one boat was able to do that. They cut their line and actually headed to St. Lucia, but there were a lot of people who perished on their boat too, because when the volcano exploded, it took 3 minutes to decimate the entire area. 30,000 people died. One person survived, and he was in a jail cell, which we're actually going to go and check out in a little bit. But if you're up in Martinique and would like to do a dive, I would definitely check this out. There's several others, but we can't because we don't scuba.
That was a nice dive because there was a lot of life, a lot of structure. I was surprised to see how much life was there. It's very busy, a lot of traffic, a lot of dive boats and tours going on, and it's really close to shore. I didn't realize it was gonna be that big and that spread out. It almost seemed like it was multiple little boats that had sank, because they almost had their own like little reef ecosystem going on at each one.
Alright, so we are going to head over to the ruins and also to see the jail cell where the one survivor of the entire population of St. Pierre survived, because he locked himself in, well, he was locked into a jail cell, and I think he stuffed, I mean, it got pretty gross, like he peed on things. So this used to be a defense battery, but there was so much commerce coming through this area that they decided that they needed to build some houses so people had a presence to come to when they did come into port, and they stocked things like anchors and things that, you know, everybody might need coming in. So it's just so, to see all of that, I don't know, it's just so crazy to think 1902, 3 minutes, everything. People are just walking around talking, no worries. But the weird thing is that after some research I did, they actually knew it was coming. So they had a lot of warnings from the mountain, from the volcano, but they decided not to do any evacuations because there was actually a big political election going on. So they decided just to keep it on the DL, and unfortunately it didn't work out. So this was actually built in 1786, but a hurricane destroyed it. So they had to rebuild it 1817. After the 1891 hurricane, it was necessary to wait until 1900 for the theater to be renovated at the cost of heavy loans that drove the director to ruin. But then again, 1902, the volcano took it down.
This is what the theater used to look like. Now it looks like this.
Four days after the volcano erupted, Ludger Selbras was the only survivor found in St. Pierre. The day prior, he was arrested and locked away in solitary confinement here in this single cell that was then underground. This rather harsh punishment actually saved his life when the volcano erupted. Having survived such a terrible disaster, he became sort of a world celebrity. His crimes were pardoned, and he was hired to tour with the Barnum and Bailey Circus, where he was advertised as being a living relic and the man who lived through doomsday. Whew. That was very interesting. It's just so surreal to walk through something that is so still real. Everything's still like it was the day it happened in 1902. So we are exhausted.
And hungry.
So we're cooking up some lunch and we are gonna end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and click that bell because we're gonna be moving on to another place next week.
And we want to give a huge thank you to all our patrons. You guys really help us with the production of these videos. So if you also want to help, check out the link below for Patreon or just wait till the end of the video.
Thanks guys. See you next week.
See you guys.